And since it's not a clean cut, I'm going to go higher than normal. And I put them on sideways because I'm going to cut right across that whole thing.
Yes. Eat it and yap for job.
Then I check the edges. You got to get these edges like lines. You know what I mean? But that's the hardest part when it's on a clean edge. Then you gotta align this edge.
With it.
Yeah, I asked Jimmy Warney about prepping a frame with snot tape, and he said not in Florida.
Yeah, the California thing. Yeah, they tried to do it here one time with us, and we just laughed at them, and then they were like, "Why are you laughing?" And we're like, "No, go ahead and do it." You know, and then it just doesn't come out right. I guess it's too humid.
Too humid, right?
Yeah. The other thing about opal is, you'll see if it's clean over there, it'll always have this little tab. You always want to cut that off. You never want to leave excess like that because that's less that the tape can grab on your frame. I mean, your whole thing is to be able to grab as much as you can.
Now, will you use a razor knife?
Yeah.
Trim it out?
And I'll use a nice little razor knife, and I will cut all that off at one point. But I got to get this main spot.
Big shit. So no, this is quick sight. This I get we died say. But
Now, contrary, already stuck is still sticky. Can I keep that in?
So you're just working it up and down.
Now I'm working it till I can get a clean edge. Once I get a clean edge, then I can start cutting and start, you know, then I'll cut and then I'll tape.
it's say is the deputy the you say this they
So as you see, I put my clip this way so I can cut this across this. And I put my clip this way because I have the excess I'm going to cut across this. That make sense?
Got it.
I'd like to have one more. I'll have some one more clip. You don't see how. How about you need? You can do it that way. Now I'm left-handed, so I'm going to cut this way.
Yeah.
And then,
Do you know why it's longer?
no idea. It's you know, over 250 and 216 and all that. It's just longer. I think it's because of the material it is. They somehow can't make it.
Only opal.
Yeah, only opal.
Actually. So if you had a 250 or 216,
Yeah, exactly.
it'll fit perfect.
Unless you got somebody who's your frame, whoever made your frame was not a good frame maker. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Other than that, it fits. Grab this again. I'm stretching as I go. Always stretching as you go.
Indeed. What's that name?
Right, you do this sometimes. You hit the tape from previous, and that'll snag you.
So if you really wanted to take your time with it, you'd
Yeah.
get the alcohol out and scrub down to that.
And you clean it's really, really good. When we're on a TV show, we don't have time.
Hold on. What is it?
So now I'm going to show you the secret sauce to how you make a really good frame. Is this kind of how people make frames for painters? Painters use the same system that we do. Maybe we copied it from them. I don't know, but and then I just make tabs, as many as I can, in about 12. I need 12 tabs. Some people try to make it with the whole entire tape, but I find those are the ones that always make noise and audio gets mad at you and blah, blah. If you do it with a tab method, like people do making frames for painting, you'll see it's just like a drum. You could bounce a quarter off of it. So when you're doing this, you want to put your tabs one there, one here, one here, and one here. That's your first stretch, is doing a cross. And so you're basically just keeps stretching it out to the corners. You'll see as I do it, you'll see how it works, but that's basically the idea. And then you want to just do it right onto the metal part, right about that much, so you're not taking any light away. And then this is your first one, so you just want to put that on so it kind of sits right there on the metal. And then the next one is going to go straight down below it. Same thing right on the metal. And now you're going to take this one and you're going to pull and fold it under. Again, this is the starting side, so you don't pull. You just put it on nice.
So when you start it, you don't pull it.
Yeah, you don't pull.
You only pull it when you end it.
You're going to only pull when you're pulling against something. So I'm pulling against that tab right now. So I put it on. And now I'm going to pull. And now you see how it's stretched already? That's just only 4. Wait till I keep going.
Right?
So then now this I want to cut off. So I'm just going to do one here and then I'll cut that off. So I'll put one up here. Again, there's nothing to pull against, so I don't do anything. Now I'm going to put one down here opposite. And I'm going to pull on this one.
So you just went opposite.
Yeah, now I start going opposites. Because that's where all your excess is going to go.
So the corners are the last thing you want to do.
Yep. Yep. And you want to cut all this excess off as best you can. And sometimes if I feel like I need more to grab, I'll even go on the metal a little bit and cut. Because I can't pinch it, you know what I mean? To get rid of all that crap. As you're stretching it out on the thing, feel free to grab your ends, give it a little tug, so you're constantly pulling it out. So I did that one. Now I'm going to do this one.
This one. Well, if you did, Rock.
It's getting rid of all the wrinkles.
Mm-hmm.
So now I did this, and this was changing. You don't just do this one, this one, this one, this one. You constantly keep going around the frame.
Ah, so don't do opposites.
Yeah,
Go around the frame.
keep going. So now I'm gonna pull. Get some more tape here. So now I'm gonna do one on here. And again, keep pulling the corner. So at this point, you see it's almost pretty stretched. Except, oops, I forgot one over there.
Yep.
And I got 3.
All 12.
All right, so now, as you guys can see, it's already pretty straight and pulled out, right? So now we worry about the corners. Again, if you start with the corners, you failed. You got to start in the middle and start making your X's. You know, it's like a spider web. You start in the middle, so to speak, and you work your way out of the spider web. So now we get some more tape. I'm gonna make tabs. Those 12 is what really makes your frame. Now it's just fluff. Now I'm just slowly pulling it all out to the corners.
So how many are you tearing now? Another 12?
No, I'm just gonna do. I just really need 4 for the corners, and then if there's anything else as I do it needs something, I have a couple extra.
I see. So you might do a spare pull.
Correct. So like I'm gonna come in here. I say got a bigger space, so I'm gonna come and do one here.
Yeah, so you think you want to hit the corner, but you're not on the actual corner.
Right.
Interesting. Now, ah.
Now go down to this corner, over here. When you want to pull, well, here's another tip. As you're doing this, just pull slightly, always like out from the middle. So I'm going to pull slightly this way as I do that. And at the end, I'll just grab this with one piece of tape and hold it. But now you see it's already getting really, really tight in the 2 places I just did it. Lose that. Again, I'm pulling up and over. I'll do another one. And you see how tight this is already getting.
And who showed you?
Who showed me was Barry Ryan and Troy Schultz on a TV show called Mortal Kombat back in 1999.
When you were what, 11 then?
So you see, look. See how tight that is?
Yes.
That's what you want. So here's where I go in and start trimming up before I tape over the whole thing. Because you want to be able to grab as much of the frame as you can. This is just wasted. Your tapes onto nothing. So you don't want any of this excess stuff. You want to trim all that out of there. And it makes your frame last longer as well.
And when you say longer the frame will last, you're meaning the skin on the frame.
Yeah, correct. If you don't trim that off, the tape has less to grab onto, and over time, working it, rain, pulling it in and out of the trucks, it just the tape will just start to loosen up, and then your whole thing will become loose. So you wanna trim this as best you can.
Almost. I apologize.
I'll go back and see I got like a little bubble. I might start pulling those out if it somehow did that. So I'll come back here.
So you're going to unstick and retab.
But I feel like I can get more out of it.
Yeah, you sure did.
Remember, these are the ones you just put down and you fight with the other one. So now I feel like this one can just come in a little bit tighter.
And this is just gaff tape. It just happens to be white.
Yeah, and you want white because it reflects light. And you can write on it. So I can write, opal frame on the corners, on both sides. So when the guys in the truck are looking for it, they don't have to pull it out and look on the side and see opal. They can look right here, and I'll write it here, as you'll see later on, and they can just grab it out quicker, and they're faster getting the equipment out to the set.
So now you're just going around and eyeballing your work and,
exactly.
and perfecting it.
Exactly. Opal is, if this was a different frame, it's a lot easier. Opal is the hardest because it's almost like rice paper. So it's a little bit, it's the animal. It's the hardest animal to do.
Now I would call this a blade frame. What would you call this frame?
Blade frame.
Okay. Probably the easiest frame to put opal on.
Right, yeah. A square blade frame, the easiest to do on. When you have the rounded edges, nightmare. Like, I don't like this, so I'm going to try to fix all this. And again, I just did a 250 frame. I didn't have to go do all this because it's 250. It's a different material. And it was just easier to...
And probably opal's what would go through the most, right? It's so easily damaged.
Oh yeah, it's rice paper. So that looks good. So now I have this one over here. I have a little that. I'm gonna try to get rid of this before I tape it up. Anything I can do to just get rid of any wrinkles, So that's pretty good. So as you can see, as I made this frame, I told you you gotta build these like people make frames for paintings. So what you do is you start here in the middle, not on the ends. Starting on the ends will fail you every time. You want to start in the middle, and then you just type it nice there, and then come down completely the opposite, and then you want to put the tape on and pull, and give it that nice taut pull, and then go from there. You come over to this side, put your tape nice and neat, clean edge, and then come to the complete opposite and put this piece on, and again pull and make this taut, and it'll literally, you'll see a nice tight thing across here of a cross. Then after you get done with that, you want to start going opposites. So you come over and you put this one on, and then you come down to the opposite one over here and stretch it out that way. And then you go back up to this one and do that one, and then come it to its opposite and pull that one. And you'll just keep doing that around the frame, and it'll just start just pulling out to a point where you get this. It'll be like a drum on a drum kit. All right, so now that we did all this, we want to enclose this with a solid piece across this whole thing, all four corners, all four sides, I should say. And then we can write on it. We can, like I said, when you go in the truck, you can write on it. So here I go. I'm just basically gonna put solid sections across all four sides.
And it doesn't matter what order?
It does not matter what order. I usually just start up here because it's easier. And then when you do it, you want to make sure that you stay right on where the frame is.
What's interesting is that you didn't tear the tape off. You kept it on the roll for the run.
Yep.
Because when you tear it, it'll like flop on you.
Exactly. So now I know exactly the end of it. And I'll tear it off. And I'm going to start back again in the middle. So I have this to deal with. So I just go like that. Pull a tab down. Pull a tab down. Make sure it's on here good. Now I'm going to do a tab for this one. And over here. Now this will be the first one I bend over and put on is this one. And here we go. And I just get it over flat. Now I'm going to fight this one. And I'm always going from the middle out. And I'm just flattening over like that.
Never know.
Now I'm going to go down this side.
Sorry? Right now, please. No.
Because when you get it to that, remember I told you got to trim the thing? You want that to land on that edge because that's what's really holding all this together. Now, I'm just finishing it by putting it on the back of the frame and holding it all in.
Now, will you sign your name on it when we're done?
No.
Oh.
No. I mean, sometimes I put my initials just for fun. Now, the other thing about building is when you build it on a stand, like I just did, you can use this stand to your advantage. So watch this. Now I'll take the stand. I'll raise it up a little bit. And then, as I put the tape on and I get down here, I don't have to be bending over onto the floor. I can just reach up a little bit and reach down a little bit. And when you're building 20 of these, it gets old bending up, reaching up and bending down. So same thing.
And you do 20 because they're aged or there are custom requests?
Let's say I get on a big grip job for a movie, like Bad Boys 2 or Quiet Place 2 or something like that. And then they'll give us a whole bunch of frames from the shop that we rent the gear from, and they're all terrible. So we'll strip them all and start from fresh.
So it's part of your day.
Part of my day, yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the
Using expendables. 20 minutes left, Carter. 20 minutes left. Go.
And again, I'm going to start in the middle and bend the tape over.
So you're not fully bending it around. You're going to just the top part of the blade.
Yep, exactly. Just the top part of the blade.
Interesting. Because your brain just wants to go all the way around. Hit it.
It's not good. Because at any point I can fix it a lot easier if I just do this much.
Right. If you commit all that tape to a fold over.
Yeah, I know I gotta yank all that crap and it's opal, and then next thing you know, I've ripped it.
Yeah.
All right. So now I can see that I made a good fold. Now I can go in the middle here and start folding it completely over onto the back of the frame.
And then you'll repeat that for the other two.
The other two sides will be exactly the same.
Great.
Pressing it in, make sure it's on there good. And start in the middle. And I go in the middle and work my way up.
So it's literally about a half hour per frame, huh?
Yeah.
Or 20 minutes.
You see, look at that nice sound. Sounds like a drum. And when the sound guy is over there recording something, you don't have to sit there and try to figure out how to hold it and from flapping in the wind and all that, because no wind's gonna make any noise. So now this is an opal frame and it's gonna come out of the truck. So I'll go up here and I'll literally write opal.
Vertically.
Yep. It's that way, and then I'm gonna flip it upside down. You put the frame in the truck. When it comes out, they can read it. And the other thing too is, as I do these frames, I'll always put this down just a little bit from here, and always have them at the same size. So as you sit in the truck and look, you'll see go across, It'll be opal 250, 251, 216, just like that. So you're not looking up and down the thing. I always put it at the same exact mark when I make the frame. So as you're doing it, someone just have to look left or right. They don't have to be looking all the way up and down the frames. They're always at the same mark.
Nice. So what you just told me was you only put it on the bite
I only
side.
put it on the bite side of the frame because if that side would be the side that might be on camera, and we might even use that sometime. They'll be like, cover up a window or blah, blah, blah. And then that's the side they see more often than not. And I'll just write it slightly up in here, opal.